Hello everyone, my name is Manumi and I'm currently a student at the Institute of Software Engineering, Ijse, batch number 73. Today I am excited to present my complete point of sale system built using Springboard. This project represents everything we learned about enterprise application development, REST APIs, and database management. Um, First, I will explain the project architecture and technology stack. Then I will show you the project structure and important configurations. Next, we will explore each module in detail, like customer, item, and order management. After that, I will demonstrate the API endpoints using tools like Postman and Browser. Then I will show you the database operations and how data persists. Finally, I will discuss error handling, validation, and important Spring Boot features. Um, Let me start by explaining the technologies choices I made for this project. Core technologies are Java 17, Spring Boot, Spring MVC, and Spring Data JPA. Database MySQL, libraries Lombok, Model Mapper, Hibernate Validator, and building tool Maven and Maven Wrapper. Now let's look at how I set up the project. I will share my screen and walk you through the important files. First, the Maven Wrapper configurations. Mm, Now let's look at the heart of any Maven project. Uh, Spring Boot starters, database driver, uh, libraries, logbook, and model mapper. Um, Next, let's look at the application properties file, which is crucial for configuration. Mm, this is database URL. Please connect to MySQL on localhost port 3206. The database name is for system. The create database if not exist. True parameter automatically create the database if it doesn't exist. Very important for development. And username and password. This is JPA configurations. Now let's look at the entry point of our application. Application Java. The Spring Boot application annotation combine three annotations: configuration, enable auto configuration, component scan. I will also define a model mapper bean here by making it at bean. Spring will manage it as a singleton and I can inject it anywhere using add auto or constructor injection. This is much more efficient than creating new model mapper instance everywhere. Uh, Course configuration. This is course config. Course is crucial for web applications since my front end need to communicate with my backend on a different port. I need to allow course origin request. This configuration permit all endpoints to be accessed from localhost with common HTTP methods. Um, Now we will dive into the database entity design. Let's start with the customer entity. Um, Let me explain the annotations. Entity mark this class as a JPA entity. Hibernate will map it to database table. This is ID. It use mark the primary key field. This column. Specify the column name in the database. Without this, it would as ID as column name, and then use Lombok annotations, Theta setters, Noah constructors, and Ola constructors. Um, Next, the item entity. A similar structure but with business field name, quantity, price. Um, Now the order entity, this is more complex. Important points and here order is a reserved keyword in SQL. I'm explicitly naming the table orders to avoid conflicts. Um, Now let's look at data transfer object. These are crucial for separating your API contract from your database entity. Um, why did you use instead of exposing entities directly? Security, validation, decoupling. Uh, this annotation use ensure the field is not null and contains at least one non-white space character. And this annotation use address must be at least 5 characters long. When validations fail, Spring automatically throws method argument not valid exception, which our global exception handler gets move and format nicely. Let's look at item DTO. Um, Now this win and positive. This use price must be greater than zero, and this use quantity can be zero but not negative. Then order DTO. The order DTO contain list of ordered item DTOs, nested structure, perfectly separate, represent and order with multiple items in a single JSON request. The repository layer is simple thanks to Spring Data JPA. This repository, customer repository layer, extend JPA repository, uh, and then have CRUD methods like save, find by ID, find all, delete by ID, sorting support. Um, the magic method, find top by order by description. In data JPA, pass the method name and generate the query automatically. Order by ID disk mean order by ID describe. These are other repositories, item repository, ODM repository. The beauty of this approach is that I don't need to write any SQL or JPQL queries. Spin data JPA generate them based on method names. This is called query methods and it one of the most powerful features of Spring Data. Now we get to the business logics. Let's start with customer service IMPA. Service mark this as a service bean. Spring will manage it. And they required a constructor use Lombok generate constructor for final field. This is constructor injection, which is better than field injection. This is ID generate logic. If no customers exist, start with C001. Otherwise, extract number from last ID, increment and format the leading zeros. This is update customer method, delete customer method, get all customer,